Hello everyone, welcome to Magickal Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and I'm here with my weekly Moonday Oracle Message. This is going to be a message for the highest and greatest good of the collective, or even for all those who find themselves drawn here to watch. Whether you're watching live or the replay, you are here exactly when you are meant to be here, and there is something in this entire message, or in this entire reading, I should say today, that you will resonate with or will apply uniquely to you. So it doesn't matter if you're watching this months from the actual day that it was aired, it's still something that might be here for what you most need at this time. So I use my own intuitive abilities as well as oracle cards to call forth a message of highest and greatest good for all of us, and really insight, or I should say divine guidance or advice as to what we most need to know moving into the energy of the week. As today is Monday, also known in ancient times as Moonday, this is the beginning for most of us of the week. It's also the day that is connected to the moon, and the moon's energy is connected to our intuition, or the feminine energy, which is all about connecting in. So really a great time to be asking for guidance and insight as to what we most need to know energetically. This gives us a bit of an awareness or a heads up as to how we can flow with the theme of the week or with the energy, versus trying to resist or go against the grain, if you will. Because when we don't have that awareness or insight, it really does make things a bit more challenging. And again, oftentimes we resist when we should be flowing. So for us to receive, I guess you could say, the most harmonious connection for the week, it's this insight that does assist us in what we most need to know to flow. All right. So I see a bunch of you popping in right now, and I'm going to say hello to Sandra, to Laura, to Susie, to Tracy, Heidi, Meredith, Kimberly, Robert. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. How is your magical moon day so far? I hope it is magical. So, hi Lindsay. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So for anybody who is new to my page, again, how this works is that it is for anybody who finds themselves here. It is not personal individual readings this evening. I'm only offering a reading of overall guidance, if you will, a generalized message for all of us as one. So I do offer personal readings. If you would like to set up a private session with me, you can do so by reaching out to me privately. And you can also check out my services. I offer healing sessions as well as readings. The healing sessions I can do both in person as well as remotely. So it does not matter where you are in the great wide web of light. We can do these readings or energy healing sessions across space and time. So again, if you're interested, you can check out my services or send me a private message. So with that said, I'm going to just take a moment while some of you are still popping in. Welcome Liz, Lindsay, Dawn. Great to have you all here. Just somebody let me know if you can hear me and see me, and I want to see if you are able to see comments, because that has been quite an issue lately with this new page manager app that they have. And I haven't seen anybody comment so far, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's already having an issue. I wonder if I uninstall it and reinstall it, it will work. I'm not going to go through all of that today, so I will instead pull up comments on my phone. That just stinks, because that means that I'm not going to be able to see your comments as they pop up. Really, really strange. Because, you know, I'm on the same app, the Page Manager app, the new one that the Facebook actually updated. I'm on the same one on my phone as I am on my iPad, and I can see the comments through my phone, not my iPad. So this must be an Apple issue. Bear with me one moment, everybody. Hi, Flo. Hi, Beth. Welcome. So far, I cannot see comments, everyone. Okay, I'm just sharing it. this has been an ongoing issue with this app since, and I've restarted my iPad quite a few times, which usually resets it. But since we had last Thursday's Halloween reading roulette on Oracle's page, we had the same issue. So this has been going on for a little while. I haven't tried to uninstall the app and reinstall, so maybe I should do that. But I'm not going to do that right now. So I'm going to have to make the best. Okay, I think that's it so far. Oh yeah, I can see all of you commenting here. See? Definitely has to do with Apple then. Thank you, Meredith. I appreciate that. Sandra, Susie, thank you. Yeah, really weird. I don't know what's up with that, but it really pisses me off. Sorry, but it does, because I have to keep looking down then in order to see comments, which is a bit annoying because I can't see them as you say them. So bear with me, not ignoring anybody throughout the reading this evening. I will periodically glance down and check comments and any that I might have missed. Worst case scenario, I'll get back to everyone through the, this is done airing live, I'll go back and check comments afterwards. So I will not forget you, okay? So how are you all? How's everybody doing? I'd like to hear how your weekend's been. It's been rather interesting energy. So we're going to talk about that with the energy forecast. Then we're going to do the oracle card reading. So I'll pull the card and then interpret the message that comes through for us all for the week. And then after that, we're going to call in a mudra for us all to work with together and for you all to work with throughout the week. Now, I'll talk more about what mudras are when we get there. For now, the first thing I like to do is talk about news and announcements and anything that I might be offering here at Magickal Me or at my sister business, Oracles of the Light. So, Susie says, thank you so much for the acknowledging me in here. Most don't and just go about what they are doing. Oh, well, no, I actually really love, that's why I'm a little bit, like I said, pissed off about the comments, because I really love the interaction. This isn't just about me, guys. Yeah, I'm here doing the reading, but I am included in this and we are all one. So no, I love that you comment. I love that you guys share and everybody talks even amongst themselves. This is a community and I am so grateful for all of you. So no, thank you so much for being here. Hi, Lara, sweetheart. Welcome. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Check back the replay, sweetie. Beth says, a weekend was hectic and a lot of messages to change my life and relationship status. Yeah, we're going to touch on that with the empathy forecast too. So that's, you're right in sync, honestly, energetically. Hey, Ricky, welcome, lovely. Dawn says, was feeling drained, but getting better now. Crazy, crazy energy. Wow. Yeah, you know what? I was concerned that I wasn't going to make it tonight again because moving throughout the energy of the day today, I did start to feel drained as well. We'll talk about that too. And suddenly right before, it was as if Spirit's like, oh no, you don't, you need to be here. So right before the reading, I actually got this like burst and rush of energy. So if I'm a little peppy, that's why, because Spirit clearly needed to make sure I was here this evening. So it's kind of funny. Oh, that's hot. All right. So with that said, news and announcements. So this is going to be a reading, everybody. I don't know if I said it or not. A reading for the week of October 12th, 2020. So first and foremost, I want to go into the news and announcements. There are not very many. Oracle's newsletter did already go out last week. For anybody who subscribes to that, they have been getting sent repeatedly to even I have changed it various times myself, and even in my own email, it immediately goes right to my promotions or sometimes to my spam. So even though I changed the settings, it's still doing it. So for those of you who haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, check your promotions folder if you have a Gmail. I think Microsoft might be doing it as well now. They categorize everything now. Promotions, social media. It's pretty ridiculous, but Anyway, you should be able to find it there. If for some reason you didn't receive it and you normally do receive it, let us know. We can see if we can do a resend for you specifically, okay? So just send me a message here or on Oracles of the Light. For those of you who have never subscribed to our newsletter and want to, every month the Oracles and I put together just a bunch of different information pertaining to the theme of that month. So for this month, we went into different activities that you can do for Halloween, also known as Samhain. You can bring in the energy of your ancestors, your passed on loved ones. We announced different reading specials that we're doing, any events we have going on in that newsletter, different energy that you can work with. For example, Karen talked about the full moon, both full moons, and how you can actually bring yourself into alignment with that energy using different frequencies. Lindsay brought forward the energy of the goddess of the month, which is Hecate, that wanted to step forward, how you can work with her. I brought in information on the ancient festival known as Samhain and what you can do to bring the energy of the season into your life, because as we connect with the seasons, we allow ourselves to move in sync and in flow. Again, just like I said with, having this awareness is moving in flow. It's also important for you to align your energy with the seasons of the year as well. So as without, so within, as within, so without. So we are all connected, and we really do promote more of a harmonious balance within our life when we work with that. So all of this information is there in the newsletter. If you want to subscribe and have not already, you can do so by going over to the Oracle's website, www.oraclesofthelight.com, and there should be a pop-up. But if you don't get the pop-up, you can go to the Contact Us section, and there is a form for you to fill out to subscribe. You can also do it if you are on a laptop or a desktop, not on a mobile device, unfortunately. I don't know why, but going over to the Oracle's Facebook page on a computer, you can see on the left-hand side there's like tabs, and it should say email sign up somewhere, okay? If you need help with that, just reach out. We're always willing to help. Hi, Bridge. Hey, Fred. Hey, Brenna. Karen. Jerry. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here this evening. So those of you just popping in, I keep looking down. I can't see comments again on my iPad. Apple is just, I don't know what's going on with Apple and the new Facebook Pages manager that they've made an update. So ever since then, it's been issues. But I can see it on the same thing on my phone, so it's weird. Hey, Lynette. Welcome, love. Sorry, just trying to scroll and catch up on your comments before I go into anything else here. Hey, Kimberly. Oh, Meredith said she had a headache all weekend and feeling a bit sedated. Lindsay said the same. Yeah, I can relate to that too. Not the headache, but I definitely felt like I was very much like out of my body for a lot of the weekend. Oh yeah, Vanessa, very dizzy, lots of abdominal cramping and just emotions all over. Oh, I'm going to talk to you about the abdominal cramping too, so don't let me forget. Comment again if I get on a tangent and I don't remember. I'm going to try to include that in the energy forecast, okay? I did talk a little bit about this already on today's Evolving into the Cosmic Heart discussion with Rachel Goodwin. We did go live earlier today, and that video should be available for playback on my page as well as the Cosmic Heart. If you want to catch that, it was a really fascinating conversation. But I'll try to touch it again. Kimberly says, already listened to the Moon Sounds link in the newsletter and it felt amazing. Oh, good for you. Yeah, so see, consistent. Brenna as well, lethargic and had a headache. Reiki on myself yesterday and I felt like a brand new person. Wow. So, Dawn says dizzy this morning too. Okay, so let's see if we can talk a little bit about what might be going on. The newsletter was one thing. Okay. So this Friday, that is the 16th, the Oracles and myself. So this is for those of you that are actually local to us. So in the Easton, Pennsylvania, Phillipsburg, New Jersey area, the Oracles and I will be out at the restaurant and lounge called Black and Blue in Easton, Pennsylvania. Black and Blue is an incredible atmosphere. We really, really love the people there. The owner, Marcel, we've worked with him quite a bit, as well as have been asked to work at Black and Blue and do some things there and events with them. And just everyone is just, it's a really amazing crowd. Not only that, Black and Blue's restaurant itself is definitely different than your average restaurant. It's got a very Gothic London medieval vibe to it. It is the perfect setting for anything Halloween, spooky, magical, and they really do take it up a notch with that atmosphere that they have there. Just everything, it's the interior, everything is very much, it's got this whole medieval vibe, a medieval pub, if you will. So the Oracles and I will actually be there Friday night, the 16th, from 7 p.m. to about 10 p.m. We will be doing in-person Oracle card readings. But for those of you who have caught on to our Halloween reading roulette with the Wheel of Fate that we spin, we will actually be doing a version of that in person at Black and Blue. So it is free entry. It's free for anybody to come out. The readings are complimentary. So if you would like to get a reading with us in person, now's your chance to come out and you get to spin the Wheel of Fate to see what reading you will receive. Each of these readings will probably be about 10 to 15 minutes long just because we, try to keep it short to accommodate everybody. But Black and Blue has an incredible menu of food. They have so many incredibly magical drinks and fun drinks, but they also have a they have a whole vegan and vegetarian menu as well for anybody who, is looking more for that. So they have an array of options for you. Again, I said food. Most likely there's going to be live music as well. We will be in a private room located off to the side known as the King's Room. And again, myself, Lindsay, and Karen will be doing these readings. So when you get there, just come back to the King's Room and all you have to do is sign your name up on a list. And this way, you're not having to wait too long. We'll take everybody as they come through that list. And yeah, you get the chance to spin the Wheel of Fate itself and find out what reading the Fates most have in store for you. There are a variety of different readings on there. So we're kind of keeping it static to what we had on Reading Roulette, which is there's a vampire reading, which if you land on that, then the reading is going to be all about what it is that is draining your life force energy at this time and what you most need to know to release that energy. We're also going to be offering a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern reading, which is all about what direction is being illuminated for you for the path ahead. Also, there is a wand reading, which is all about what magical power or what is it that is within your power to wield at this time, which of your magical powers is coming forward for you to most work with and embody. Let's see, we're also going to have an option on there for a wild card, which means that you get to choose whatever reading you want from the wheel. We're also going to have an option on there just to ask a question of your own choosing. You don't even have to have those readings. So if you land on the ask your own question, then, you can ask something that you most need to know at this time. These are oracle guidance reading. These are not psychic medium readings at this time. We do offer those, but we offer those privately and not in person because of the length of time that they do take to do. And plus, you need a little bit more of a different sort of a focused environment than what we will be having there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to be all dressed up, going out of our way to, make it as much more magical and fun as we possibly can. So we would love, love, love to see you. And you don't lose out on anything because it is free entry and it is free readings, complimentary of Marcel at Black and Blue. So if you want to participate, again, we will be there live or in person at 7 p.m. To 10 p.m. doing these readings Friday evening. Okay? I think that's it so far with that. Then, as of now, we have it lightly set, not quite yet in stone. Thursday, the 22nd, I believe that's the date. The 22nd will be our next Halloween reading roulette, live on Oracles of the Light page. So this is an online event, not an in-person event. And that, if you have not already seen that, if you do not know what that's about, I'm going to encourage you to go over and check out our page, and you will see both Karen and I with some light up headpieces on, looking really Halloween. And you can check that out and see how it works. To participate is only $20. And then we spin the Wheel of Fate for you, and you land on either a reading or some other sort of session that we throw on there. I'm not sure if we're going to keep the same ones. We might mix it up a bit. And then you have that reading privately, not live. It won't be done on air. Those are private readings that the oracles will pre-record and send to you to watch in your own time. Also, while you're live, just for doing it, just for signing up, we do always pull a little added bonus card for you. So just kind of give you like a little simple message over the air, nothing in depth or really personal, but just something that's coming forward for you, something fun from one of our magical Halloween decks or our witchy decks. And yeah, and I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if I'm missing anything about that. So again, everything happens privately, nothing on air. And you can sign up in advance if you want to do that. You just send that over to our PayPal. We'll get that event created soon because I don't quite think we have created the event yet. But our PayPal is paypal.me/Oracles of the Light. And again, it's $20 to sign up. You get your name on the list, and you do not have to be live. These can last close to 2 hours sometimes, depending on how many people sign up. Do not have to be live. You can catch the replay back, see what came up for you, and your oracle is going to reach out to you privately as well. Okay? I hope that was it. Lindsay, Karen, am I forgetting anything? Let me know. Checking comments. Hi, Tammy. Welcome, beautiful. Thanks for being here. Bridge says, been feeling like that for a few weeks. Dizzy this morning. Hope to be able to stop in. Oh, Lynette, we'd love to see you, hon. That'd be great. Let us know. Rosemary, sounds like so much fun. Yeah, I wish you could come out too, sweetheart. Hi, Angela. Welcome. Hey, Kathleen. Glad you made it, love. So, everybody, I have to keep checking my phone for comments. Those of you just popping in, I cannot see comments again here. I don't know what's going on. Gonna get it righted one day. All right, so energy forecast. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on, then what I've been feeling, and maybe how it actually plays into what you all have been feeling. So trying to think, where are we at on the timeline? So today, well, I should say tomorrow, Mercury actually goes retrograde. Mercury is already in the sign of Scorpio, which is that energy. We talk about this quite a bit. But for those of you who haven't heard this before, Scorpio, in a nutshell, is the energy of transformation and alchemy. But it's also the energy of, going deep beneath the surface. So really not being afraid to go into the shadows of a situation, to dig down deep, to pull out truth. Scorpio really is all about justice as well at the same time. So like the truth keeper seeker. So really about going in down to find the truth of a matter, the heart of the situation, and really kind of pulling it up and having it come up to be recognized or acknowledged. And it's also that alchemical energy of the phoenix, because Scorpio is not only the sign represented by Scorpion, it's also represented by two other symbols, which are the eagle, which is then about evolving to a place of seeing from a higher perspective and kind of having that spirit's eye view, if you will, and then going through that alchemical transformative process, the necessary dark nights of the soul, the death process, to be transformed into the phoenix, which is rising into a higher enlightened state of being, if you will. So it doesn't matter what your zodiac sign is, we will all be impacted by Scorpio as it is in, as it moves throughout our charts, as it moves, the planets move throughout it. And Mercury being that planet of travel, communication, technology, just to name a few things, and messages as well. It's really, when Mercury goes direct, it makes those areas go a bit topsy-turvy. So literally the planet seems to kind of slow down and go backwards, retrograde is what they call it. So When it does this, it really does not go backwards, but it just slows down so much so that it does appear to be going backwards, which makes everything that I just said a little bit tricky. So when Mercury retrograde happens, you want to be more mindful of things that are coming up right now, of communication and the way that you're communicating. There might be lots of miscommunications happening through technology. No comments here today. Through technology, through messages, when you're speaking to someone, whenever you're communicating, know that there's a chance that it's not being received the way that it's intended, or that there might be an opportunity or something come up for you to acknowledge that maybe the way that you are communicating might need a shift. Therefore, it's about being mindful of how you can be more authentically communicating, or heartfelt and compassionately communicating. Scorpio, again, with that kind of making us go deep down and dig. So it's like, it's also going to bring about a whole lot of necessary endings of old cycles pertaining to any of those areas. So maybe where there has been disputes regarding communication, regarding certain people and scenarios where communication played a big role, things to do with vehicles and travel, things like that might all be coming down. Now, this doesn't mean that this is bad, because trust that everything that happens in the divine, in the cosmos there, it all does happen divinely. It's all actually assisting us, even if it doesn't seem like it. Because sometimes some of the stuff that happens might be unexpected, but it's still something that is necessary for whatever reason. A lot of people will say that they have suddenly, their cars break down or something happens. And it's like, those are things that are coming up now to be dealt with that, God forbid, you had to deal with at a later time when you couldn't deal with it. Maybe you were in a position where maybe you didn't want to have to deal with it, but you actually can, and financially you may be able to, versus, who knows, 6 months down the road where you just put money out for something and then you can't. See what I'm saying? Just trying to give some examples. So it's all necessary things that will be coming up to the surface and really pushing us to see truth through the situation, to really move beyond the shadowy things. So with that said, we have entered into, as of October 1st, we did have that full moon. Now we're having another full moon, which is very rare, happens only once in a blue moon, that we will have another full moon in October, which will be on the 31st, which is Halloween. This is not a coincidence. We are really wrapping up the old cycles, and there's this really potent gateway that is from the 1st to the 31st between those two full moons, where the full moon itself represents times of completion, of transformation, of letting things be released, letting things go. But it's also a very potent time of empowerment too, as well as things that we manifested at the new moon being literally manifest in the physical at the time of the full moon. So there's this really powerful window right now for us all to be focusing on what we want to create, and what is it that's coming, what is it that we currently have that we need to be, what are we currently allowing in our lives? What are we currently experiencing? What cycles, what shadows, what triggers that just are no longer working anymore, that are preventing you from, they can't go with you into this new creation, into this new cycle. So it's really about shedding those layers as well. This time of October, since the equinox in September, we really are in this period of, it's like we're entering the underworld now, which is where things pause before they begin again. It's where we go when we end, pause, enter that transitionary period where the magic starts to happen. It's like the caterpillar in the chrysalis before the butterfly is born. So we are now entering the chrysalis. In that chrysalis, we have to start to dissolve and break down those things that just aren't serving us anymore, about ourselves, about our life, what is going on that we just can't take with us into the new reality that we want to create. But it's a very powerful time of creation at the same time. So it's almost like we're having simultaneously ending and beginning, So it's really important for you to really be doing the work to release, rest as well, because that is part of integrating the new and the new information or the new wisdom or the new frequency that's coming in. That does shift you into alignment with those new opportunities and experiences. So we have this great time of let's focus on what we want to release and let go and what might be coming up to our attention at this time, emotionally, mentally, physically in our lives. So it's really that powerful time to be reflecting, okay? With that said, there's so much happening this month. There's so much happening in the remainder of this year. Just to kind of keep this very short as best as I possibly can. So a window or gateway opened up. It's a trinity of gateways, major ones. 1010 was the beginning of that opening. There will be another opening, and it's almost like an acceleration because it's like from window to window, it's open already. But these gateways to me that are coming along with it are doorways to fit through. So we have like this mini from 1010 to 1111. There's this window of acceleration and feeling almost like high speed, fast forward to make the changes, do the work, rest if that's what you're being guided to do, to rest, to integrate, because resting is actually doing something. It doesn't feel like you are, but you really are integrating new potentials, also releasing through those rests, healing through those rests. So fast forwarding, then we hit that next gateway, which is like a checkpoint, and again, another integration or acceleration. And integration of those higher frequencies coming in to all assist us to keep shedding those layers of the last remnants of this old paradigm and of our old individual karmic cycles and things that are happening. And then we have another one at 1212, but we really have this big one at 1221, which is the winter solstice, which is Yule, which is the birth of the sun god, right? The birth of light, the resurrection of light within our life. So that will end a very ancient cycle. And we will begin to literally get ready to embark into the new, which some of us are calling New Earth. So just calling a new paradigm, whatever that means for you. Know that this is the opportunity to start completely new. So there's a lot of transformational energy happening right now. So you're going to be up and then you're going to be down. You're going to be up and then you're going to be down throughout the remainder of the year. But this is amazing because it is showing you how we are, it is divinely aligned for us to really start to shed that outdated way of being, those old cycles, patterns, behaviors, habits, to really embrace a new version of ourselves. And so this is a great time to really just be reflecting on how you can do things differently. And that's been a theme for quite a bit. Energetically, though, it is taking a toll, and many people are feeling very tired. You might be feeling ascension symptoms such as headaches. Now, obviously, get yourselves checked if something persists. I'm not a doctor. And of course, there's a physical component to a lot of metaphysical things. Sometimes we do need to go get checked and we need to deal with whatever might be coming up. So we can't just spirit everything away. Though I do always recommend and encourage also simultaneously working with energetic healing, sound healing, whatever it might be, metaphysical healing really to assist you, crystals, herbs, and working with somebody who is an expert in those fields that can help you as well on that level, as well as getting things checked out, traditional medicine as well. So that's important. But also just know that not everything right away is something to run to a doctor for. Give it a little bit of time. My rule of thumb is, and it's different for everybody, so use your own instincts, please. Disclaimer, use your own instincts and intuition and common sense. But I usually have a rule of thumb. If something persists more than about 24 hours, then I might want to deal with it. I might want to see if there's something more serious going on I need to look into. Usually energy stuff kind of can be like 24 hours, pause, maybe it'll come back 24 hours later, so just rule of thumb there. Check, listen to yourself. But there's something else that's going on, and Vanessa, you mentioned it. So you said that you've been having a lot of cramping. Now, clearly, I'm going to say this again, just for the people in the back. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be. I'm not telling you this is your diagnosis. I'm not saying it's all spiritual and metaphysical. Although there could be something metaphysical going on. So for the last week or so, on and off, it hasn't been consistent. At nighttime, I'm fine all day. And then at nighttime, I'm laying in bed and I'll suddenly start having like extreme lower back cramping and aching. And then it'll move into my sacral area where, your womb is. And it'll start to feel like almost like contracting at times. And then it kind of just dulls down to a little bit of like menstrual cramps, it feels like. Now, it isn't time for my moon cycle. So I am aware that this is unusual for, if I was due for my moon cycle, that would be different. But it's unusual because I'm not. So I kind of connected in, and this is a great idea for everyone to do when you're experiencing something physical. Connect in. Is it yours? Is the first thing to ask. Is this yours, or are you picking this up from something around you, someone around you? Is it energy around you? Since the veil between the worlds is very, very thin, continuously thinning to non-existence, there's a lot of energy happening and energy connections, and even those who are not sensitive are becoming increasingly more sensitive. So you might be picking up on something that's not yours. So ask yourself first, is this mine? Listen to your body. If the pain gets stronger, that's a sign that it's a yes. If the pain goes, if you say to yourself, if it's not mine, please, I ask my higher self and my family of light to please take it away. If it goes away, it wasn't yours. And you know that you're now tapping into energy around you and you're becoming more sensitive. That's the first thing. I connected into myself and I asked, what is going on? And I heard it's labor pains. And I said to myself, well, yeah, it feels kind of like labor pains, not that bad, but it's up there. It felt to me like labor was the only way I could explain it. And it was then I heard from my higher self and kind of had just had this click of resonance. It's labor pains because we're going through a time of birth and rebirthing the new earth. We're currently, and I understand because I do a lot of grid work and healing with the energy grid, as well as the matrix, the earth matrix and the light matrix. So when I work with these, I understand that my body becomes the vessel, and therefore sometimes what I am experiencing and what's happening energetically through my energy body and vessel, I will sometimes also feel it on a physical level. So don't you know, the next day I go on to Facebook and just pops up in my news feed. I follow I've talked about her before, this very beautiful, beautiful soul, very in tune. Isis Channelings is the name of her page. And her post popped up and it just so happened to be discussing labor pains and the physical symptoms that can come from metaphysical energy things going on in the planet, just like the Schumann resonance. And she talked about there was an ancient group of souls that reincarnated into this lifetime known as womb priestesses. And those priestesses are the ones that are actually helping to give birth to the new earth. So it comes through their energy body and through their physical vessel, as in order to birth something into reality, it's got to be first in spirit and energy, which then does move down into the physical to be birthed into physical manifest. The same way that a soul is born into the physical world. So it's kind of, it's like that. So Vanessa, I'm not quite sure if this is what you're experiencing, but I just wanted to share that because I'm not the only person who identified with it. There are quite a few people that I know that did relate to that and identify with it, experiencing those aches and pains at the same exact time. So just kind of putting that out there, obviously, look into that more seriously if you need to. But I do know, and I did resonate immediately with that because I know the work that I do, a lot of it is working with the connection with the Divine Mother and the womb, the mother womb and the mother wounds of creation. So I do work a lot with the womb energy. So it just completely clicked for me. So that is also something happening right now. It's never a dull moment. And no, we do not get a break, especially as we cycle closer to the end of this year. of December 21st, when we are really wrapping up a major, major cycle of, I can't even tell you how many thousands and thousands of years. I'm sure there's a number specifically, but it eludes me at this time. So it is something like, it has to do with the Mayan prophecy as well. We're wrapping up a cycle for thousands and thousands of years now. So today I pulled the vampire card for myself. You know, I talk about this. I pull my own cards every day. Sometimes I post them on my story just because Spirit tells me that even though it's my own personal message, sometimes someone just needs to see those cards and something's going to click for them. So I just share them. I don't interpret them for the most part for everybody. I just share them. And if they work for you, fantastic. If they don't, then that's also okay. But the vampire was one of the cards that came out. And as I connected into that, I thought, okay, so I know what the vampire means, which is all about, what is it? You know, vampires symbolically represent draining your life force energy and taking your power, you know, or you could also be giving away your power to situations that are vampiric, you know. So it doesn't have to be like people, it could be, but it could also be situations, behaviors, patterns. And vampires are also often considered very taboo, but seductive and enticing. And they have this hypnotism type effect on people, you know, when you look at it through stories and mythology and the mythos of them. So I interpret that as, what is it that is enticing, maybe seductive, but maybe also a trigger that we continuously engage in, that is a vampiric-like quality, tendency to drain our energy? What is it that we are engaging in? What are we giving our energy to? It's about really, we're being asked to really take accountability and responsibility for what we are putting energy into. And that goes back to what I was talking about with what we're creating right now. It's really important for us to start to recognize, you know what, this is taking away from me. This is taking away from my energy. This is taking away from my time. This is mentally exhausting, emotionally. This is what's got to go. It's time for us to recognize that, because we cannot focus all our energy on what is going wrong, what is stressing us out. It's time for us to start really getting into alignment with what we want to create, because your awareness, your energy, and what you're putting that energy into is ultimately what you're creating, even if it's not what you don't want. So be mindful of that. And the vampire energy is coming up for us to recognize that. So for those of you who have been saying, you know, I'm feeling drained, ask yourself, what's draining you? Where's your energy going? Is it just the energy? Maybe. But is it also maybe something else that's going on? It's important to know that and ask that. And to sit down and really kind of like analyze that. Today, I will tell you that I felt very overwhelmed. I felt like my energy was being called and pulled in many different places. Realistically, no one can do anything to me that I do not allow. Same with you. So it was me not creating boundaries on my own time and energy. Also, when some situations came up, they were trigger energies. And not all day, but throughout, at one certain point, I did allow them to trigger and entice me. You see, I was enticed and seduced to go into that place of frustration, irritability, and negativity. But then I recognized, you know what? This is part of the situation. I also do not have to let my time be and my energy be pulled in all of these different directions. I can just disconnect completely and deal with each individually as I am able. So I recognized that and I pulled away, and then everything was fine, you know? So I feel like that's part of it. It doesn't mean to avoid or evade maybe important situations that need to be dealt with or addressed, but there's a time and a place, and know that you can only do what you can do. And, you know, and that's it, really. Just give your time and energy to what you can when you can. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I know this was quite a lengthy energy forecast, but there's so much going on. The new moon is, I believe, Friday, if I'm not mistaken. The new moon is on Friday, all about new beginnings. So really focus on planting those seeds. What do you want to be creating? What energy do you want to bring into that new birthing energy as we get birthed with that new moon again for a new cycle? And then It's also in the sign of Libra. I believe it's in Libra. So is that the moon in Libra and the sun in Libra, Meredith? Because the sun's still in Libra until the 23rd or so. So yeah, that looks like, if I'm not mistaken, the moon is also going to be in Libra, which is like the scales. Judgment, justice, balance. So a sun and a moon in balance in Libra, balancing of the scales. Well, that looks for a pretty freaking magical new moon. I think it's a super new moon too. So, ooh, yeah, get your manifestation wheels or notebooks or journals ready, everybody. What do you want to create? Now's that time. Also feels like a very harmonious alignment in that regard then, between our inner union, within our inner unions there, that masculine, feminine polarity, our light and our dark, you know, really finding our balance in all regards, if you will. Meredith says, yes, it's moon conjunct sun in Libra. All right. 12:31 p.m. Pacific time, exact. So 12:31 Eastern would be 3:31 Eastern time. Fascinating. Thank you. Thank you for that. And the moon moves into Scorpio shortly after. Oh dear. Spirit's setting us up. The universe is setting us up. It's all good though. Scorpio can have that stereotypical type of energy that people know about. Like, oh, you know, it's destructive, you know. Scorpio is magic. It really is. And it has the potential to really transform everything and us. So don't sleep on that, Scorpios. All right. Catching up with comments really quickly, guys, and I will go into the Moonday message. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Deborah. Alexandra. Carmela, Annie. Welcome. All right. Anybody else that I might have missed too? I see Anne-Marie here as well. Comments are not showing up here. Hi, Gigi. Welcome. Kristen. Welcome. Okay. Sorry if I missed anybody. I'm not ignoring. Welcome, 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 everyone. And I appreciate you being here. Meredith says, the quality of our retrograde experience deeply correlates to where we are at. So if that is something that we are unclear with, then those things become more clear. I see. Well, thank you for that. Alexandra says, too sensitive, I gather. I've been. Headaches and so much dizziness, all spinning around. Feeling like I'm floating out of body today was kind of scary. Ooh. Yeah, so lots of grounding, sweetie. You know, do the best thing that you could do if you can. I don't know, you know, I hate to tell anybody this, but I will tell you that I'm not really big on eating meat. I would not call myself a vegan or a vegetarian because I do eat meat. However, I'm really not big on eating beef specifically. But I do find those days where I'm really out of my body, I almost crave beef because it actually grounds me. So, you know, I don't mean to offend anybody that might be vegetarian or a vegan, but I'm just saying what I personally experience on those days. It does really assist me in kind of like coming right back down and anchoring, because yeah, you're right. That can be really scary, especially if you have to be driving anywhere. You can really feel like you're, you know, on medication or something. But if not, you know, obviously connecting with nature as best as you can. Some stones, like rocks, even rocks outside would be fantastic to help ground your energy. But if you have stones like hematite, to me, hematite's like a boulder. It just like yanks you right down. You know, obviously black tourmaline, obsidian, agates, jaspers, they're all really, really grounding energies. So maybe working with some of those. Okay. Hi, Julie. Hey, Karen. Welcome. Just trying to go through some of these comments. Kathleen says, necessarily unexpected. Can I just hide now? I know. Well, you know, with Scorpio, it'll find you. So there's no hiding. Kimberly says, my rule of thumb is a week for me since I have chronic pain, unless it's nonstop excruciating. That's totally different. Yeah. Meredith says, and the other Meredith is here as well. Welcome, sweetie. Yesterday I had sacral pain, and now that you mention it, it felt like labor pains for me. Yeah, see? So just something to maybe look more into, maybe consider. Oh, good, Vanessa. Alexandra says, you hit the spotlight with all you said. Definitely need rest, and family is having lots of ups and downs. Oh, yeah. You know, that's tough. I live in a household where we are quite an emotional bunch here. And sometimes I feel like I'm just in the middle of the storm. Try to be patient. Lots of deep breaths, because everybody's being affected differently, especially depending on where those planets and things are in your charts. I mean, and where you are as far as level of spiritual, like, you know, healing and work that you've done on the self. Everybody's being impacted. It doesn't matter if you're spiritual or not. Every single person is going to go through some transformations. Kathleen says, I pulled watching clouds. Lie back, rest, and relax. Yeah. See, and it is important that when this is happening, that we just be easy with ourselves. Like Alexandra, be very easy with yourself. Salt bath. Just nurture yourself. You know, listen to, you know, sound frequency on like YouTube, or if you have singing bowls or something that you could use and just play. Just nurture yourself, okay? Boundaries, Kimberly said, needing boundaries and overwhelmed. Oh. Disengage. Yeah, you know, mine's been detached. So, yeah, great words. And it says, thanks, Mama. That just put into perspective of healing all that I have birthed in this lifetime and heal from my past lifetimes. And that I had birthed there. Dark of the Moon coming up calls for deep, deep healing. Yeah, you're right. And it is going to be, Dark of the Moon is the day before the new moon. So that's really going into our shadows and honoring them, not indulging, honoring, acknowledging, and allowing them so that we can heal them, okay? All right, Kathleen. Hi, Carla. Welcome, beautiful. Woke up this morning feeling like I had labor pains. I'm 64. I hardly doubt it was anything for me. I asked myself, geez, who's having a baby? Oh, well, it isn't me. I'm just putting that out there. Not, I'm having an Earth baby. I said that the other day. I think I was like, I'm birthing a planet. So we're going to chalk it up to that, okay? That's the only babies. Whew, nobody in this house. With that said, without further ado, we're going to get into the Moonday message. So, I am working with the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco because, one, I'm going to use the crap out of this thing until the end of October, since I can only really use it for the months of September and October. I can use it whenever I want to. But, you know, I only get really in the mood to use it during this magical time of the year. So I'm using this oracle deck. So I'm going to invite you all into sacred space with me right now and ask you all to just close your eyes as we are all connecting energetically. Take a nice deep cleansing breath in through your nose. And as you release, just feel the stress melting away, all the tension in your body, all the worries, all thought. Relax your jaw, your shoulders, and your spine. All right. And let us see what guidance comes forward for the collective good for the week of October 12th, 2020. Oh. All right. Well then, the card is scrying, and it is intuition. Look at that. So funny, right before I went live on Moonday, I was guided to share a post on divination. Now, I shared it because it was actually a divination spell, all right, to help you connect more into intuition and to receive a vision or a message of some sort for anything that you might be going through. So that I shared on Oracles of the Light, okay? I literally just shared it before I went live. with that said, I talked about Monday being Moon Day, and the probably one of the most powerful days of the week to actually work with divination. So this isn't just for today. This is for the week though. All right. So let me just connect in to the message and see what is coming forward. Interesting. So the first thing that I heard was that things are being revealed. So much like looking into a crystal ball or a scrying mirror, because the card is actually scrying, which is an ancient form of divination. And scrying can be done with fire, and it can be done with water, and it can also be done with reflective surfaces, such as glass, as well as black glass. So black mirrors, obsidian, onyx, anything that you have like that, you can actually use them to scry. Obviously crystal balls and water. I think water might be probably one of my favorite ways to putting water in a black bowl. That's probably one of my favorite ways to work with scrying. But anyway, what I'm hearing is that much like you stare at a crystal ball, and on the surface of the crystal ball, it just looks like your reflection staring back at you, right? And it just looks like, if you look deeper, it just looks like crystal ball, right? But as you relax and release your mind, eventually truth starts to reveal itself in the form of images, in the form of thoughts that enter your mind. And the real picture, the truth, becomes crystal clear. So, to me, this is saying that this week, the smoke that clouds our usual judgment it's initially there, but you are guided to come more into your sovereignty, into your power. And to do that, you're being asked to actually look beyond the glass surface of situations. You're asked to rest more on your intuition, on your instincts, on your feeling than your logic. It's very easy for us to simply accept a situation or something that is said at face value. But if we learn to, just much like Scorpio, and Scorpio is, I will tell, I don't mean to give too many props to Scorpio here, but I'm just going to, because I'm Scorpio, so I can relate as a Scorpio sun. But it's a lot of Scorpio energy coming up, so that's why I'm talking about it. As a Scorpio, and maybe because I'm a Scorpio, one of my biggest gifts, also curses, throughout my entire life has been that I am able to perceive what is not said. When someone communicates to me, I hear what you say, but I'm able to, it's almost like I tune into a layer that isn't heard, and I'm able to hear what was not said. I'm able to read between the lines. And that's why Scorpio gets the reputation for the truth seeker, and the bringer of justice, because Scorpio can see through illusion, can recognize when something or someone is false. So I feel like this is telling you that one of those ways that we're being guided to let go of these things that just don't serve us anymore, especially anything that might be vampiric, is that you're being asked to tap into your innate ability, your God-given birthright, which is your intuition. Some of us are clairsentient, which is clear feeling, and that just means that you get these feelings in your body. You might get a stomach ache when you have to go do something, and then you recognize that maybe you're not supposed to be going to do that thing, and your stomach center, your stomach is your power center there. Something is pulling away from your power. Your body's trying to alert you. So pay attention to your body, how you feel when something is either being presented to you, when a situation occurs, when things are coming up. And you're being asked to literally trust your instincts now. This is less about connecting with what we're taught, which is the logic, which is your left brain. You want to now bring that right brain into divine balance there. We've got that harmony, that alignment of balance coming in. Sun and moon. Left brain is sun, right brain is moon, bringing them into balance. And I believe Karen talked about those frequencies in the newsletter. So really connecting more with your intuition, your instincts, because you know, your feeling, your intuition, your body, it will tell you what is truth and what is not truth. I also feel like you're being asked to connect more into the self for answers and less outside of the self for answers this week. There's an important magic that is going to be occurring with this, and the more that you do this. I also feel like the reason that part of this scrying and intuition has come up, I was really drawn to this. I keep looking at it and I'm like, is that part of the crystal ball or is that a bone? I think it's a bone. And so that I kept looking at it the whole time. So I also feel like it's like I'm hearing the bones of our ancestors as we build up towards Samhain, October 31st, Day of the Dead, whatever you call it. As we build up to that, that veil is becoming increasingly non-existent. Therefore, our ancestors, our deceased loved ones, are actually able to connect with us more. And we are actually constantly receiving messages or connections and things like that that are for our highest and greatest good. Now, I also want to make it clear that not everything that you might be tapping into is for your highest and greatest good. That there are other floating about and energies, that you can come in contact with that might just be connecting with you. They might be energies attached to a place that you go to. They might be energies attached to people that you're with. So just always make sure that you are only connecting with that in which is here for your highest good and loves you unconditionally. Now, with that said, you can also ask Archangel Michael to remove or block anything from your path that is not serving your highest and greatest good, to cut out any energy attachments, any energetic cords, clear them out, heal them, dissolve them across space and time. Okay, so you have a lot of power and control in this. No fear, because fear just creates more fear. And at the end of the day, you are an incredibly powerful divine being and you are more powerful than that. So there's no need for fear. But you just don't want that vampiric energy drain. There we go again. You don't want the energy drain of something connecting to you that's not here for you. So use your intuition this week when anything comes up. When you start to feel like uncomfortable, headaches can be a sign of an energy connecting or entering your energy field that's not here for the highest and greatest good. Anything that's here for your highest and greatest good isn't going to make you feel sick. Okay, that's a rule of thumb. They're not going to make you feel sick. It's also not going to give you that uncomfortable, eerie energy. Your loved ones will not, violate your boundaries. They will only enter when given permission to. But that doesn't mean that their presence isn't around and you won't be sensing it, because everyone's spidey senses are going to be enhanced and amplified. All right. So there might be something there for you to connect into. And I'm only saying this because I was really, really called to keep looking at that bone. So there is something coming through with ancestral work, ancestral messages. This could even be you receiving messages through dreams. If you're a person who meditates, you might be meditating and getting messages. You might keep seeing something come up through synchronicity. You might be getting actually called to tap into something ancestral, an ancestral link, ability, or gift. So just begin to really listen to your intuition. Your intuition speaks through vision, through feeling, through your body, and trusting what you just feel is true. And I usually say that truth or intuition, it comes from your heart, but it's also something that you connect into within the first few seconds, that first thought that entered your mind within the first few seconds. Anything after that, you start to rationalize, and it becomes part of logic, and it's more thinking than it is instinct, okay, or intuition. So, scrying, connecting with your intuition to see through illusion this week, to see the truth of a matter, to be able to finally look beyond the surface of situations, and even to connect into or open yourself maybe to receiving messages more from those loved ones and ancestors that might actually be trying to connect and communicate with you. Again, be smart. Protect yourself before you ever try to do that. Archangel Michael, family of light, that's all you need to say. Shield and protect me. I connect only with those things that are here for my highest and greatest good and love me unconditionally. Anything else I ask to be severed, detached, disengaged, removed, healed, dissolved across space and time. Okay. All right. So let me check out some of these comments here. By the way, as I'm speaking, I've got fire moving through my face, and now I know how my body communicates with me through my own intuition. And that is, to me, like really high frequency energy coming in. So to some, that would feel like, you can see my cheeks are actually getting pink. Some actually would feel like, oh no, I'm feeling feverish right now, you know, flush. For me, there's a difference between feverish and high frequency energy coming in. And I've learned that through listening to my body over time. So there's another thing just to be mindful of, that this high frequency energy we might be receiving this week. Okay. Hi, Laura. Welcome, love. Meredith says Scorpio, Venus, Mercury, and Uranus all in the 3rd house. Oh, my goodness. Refresh my memory. What is the 3rd house again? I know you've told me 1,000 times. No. I even looked them up on my own, believe it or not. And there's certain things that just leave my brain the moment I receive them. I don't know why. Everybody too. I have to give credit where credit's due, because she answers all of my questions. I absolutely love her to death. Meredith Morris is the owner of Mermaid Trove on Facebook, and she is an incredible astrologer. So please check her page out, check her work out. She shares posts all the time about what's going on and how we can receive this, how we might be experiencing it. Got to check out her work. Kathleen says, when scrying, you will never be shown what you are not ready to see, so have no fear in experimenting with it. You just might find another tool and you will fall in love with using. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's a really good point. Thanks for saying that you will not see what it is that you aren't ready to see. Dawn says, I love this. Yay. I'm glad that you do. That's it. I feel for me also. Love it. You confirmed it. Awesome, Alexandra. Meredith says, when you were speaking, my scalp got so hot, then I got really emotional. Wow. Yeah. So the high frequency energy coming in, that is, so understand that when these high frequency waves of light come in, this new earth energy or the ascension energy, whatever you want to refer to it as, it's hard to really put a label on it, but honestly, what's helping? Ascension energy might be the best. That comes in. Remember that it's also, in order for that new energy to come in, we talked about this maybe 2 weeks ago, it's got to make room for this new higher frequency, also because it's shifting your energy, helping you to ascend in vibration. So as it does that, it's also going to start, kind of kicking up those things that need to be released. So that's what healing does. And oftentimes my clients will describe, when I first start working on them during an energy healing session, they feel flooded with warmth, heat. The room, they feel really good, cozy, or sometimes they'll feel like hot fire, And then as the healing starts, after it's done moving through their energy field or their body, it actually starts to shift in temperature and they suddenly feel really cold and chilly. So it's interesting because that's like the healing energy, that high frequency light coming in there to kick up and anything that isn't serving you. And so when you felt immediately emotional, that to me it's like already facilitating something emotionally that you're holding on to be released. But I will tell you that there's another time but it's not, I don't feel heat. I don't feel heat, but the only other time where I just suddenly feel like a wave of strong energy and then I actually get really emotional is certain energies like ascended masters. But I don't feel heat. I get really dizzy and lightheaded when they enter. So for me, that's a personal difference between healing high frequency activation energy and an actual connection with a very high powered being. And then of course, then I just cry, especially if they come, if they're a very divine love energy like Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, especially Yeshua, oh my goodness. Every time his energy connects with mine, even in dreams, I wake up crying. So that's a little bit different, but I'm not, your energy, the way that you experience things could be different than how I do. But just off the top of my head, the instincts, I feel like you just had something really high frequency healing come in or an activation. Okay. Mary says communication, Mercury, Gemini. Oh, the third house rules communication? Well, that's about right. Meredith says, oh, you're so kind. Thank you. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for all you do. I thought today that was menopause because I felt lots of heat inside me also. Oh, wow. I started my menstrual cycle 2 weeks early, immediately after full moon magic. Interesting. Leaving old, outworn, Kathleen says that's exactly what menopause is leaving old, outworn, lower energy and raising to a higher vibration of crone. Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's the same. Should have been a few days before the new moon, but here I am, almost done with a premature cycle. That happened to me last week. No, I'm sorry, last month. I was a week early. So you can see starting to shift in our cycle. Hi, Karen. Welcome. Hi, Barbara. Welcome, beautiful. All right. So those of you just popping in, I did talk about news and announcements, a very lengthy energy forecast, and the Moonday message was already done. So we're going to get ready to wrap this up, but we're going to do the mudra first. So let's see what we can assist us with all of this high frequency energy that we have all coming in and the wrapping up of the old here. All right. So really quick rundown for anybody who does not know what mudras are. The word mudra itself is Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is a very ancient language, believed to be one of the first languages on the planet. It's also believed to be a form of light language. And for anybody who's ever used Sanskrit, the language, just speaking the words is incredibly powerful. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but you can feel, it's the energy of the vibration. And those of you who have experienced my light language transmissions before can attest to just that. It's healing and activations and it's encoded frequency really is what it is coming through in the form of sounds. So ancient symbolism, glyphs, keys, codes, and shapes like sacred geometric shapes, all coming out in the form of sound. So it's the vibration that actually assists in the activation or healing. So Sanskrit does that as well. But the word mudra itself translates to seal. And for me, that actually just means an energy seal. So mudras are, probably should give a little back information, but mudras are seals that are formed with your hands and your fingers. So within your hands, you have palm chakras. And within your fingers, you actually also have like mini chakras, but more so they're triggers that are connected to the elements. So when you form symbols, gestures with your hands, what you're doing is you are actually forming a mudra, which is an energy seal. So when you form this seal, and you combine your intention as well as breathing, what you're doing is you're actually channeling energy into your energy centers, also known as your chakras. Each mudra is connected to one or more of your chakras. So that seal acts as like a trigger button. So when you form it and then you channel that energy through you, it's channeling it directly into that chakra. each chakra is connected to your 4 main bodies, your energy body, your emotional body, your physical body, your mental body, and your spiritual body or light body. So when it's connected to these bodies and you channel this energy with the mudra into them, it's almost like a flush of energy that comes through, and that life force or pranic energy that we all need to have flowing through us, it channels it directly into anywhere that you might be experiencing blockage there. So if you're experiencing blockage, it basically facilitates the removal of any blockage or debris surrounding that energy center or within those energy bodies, which then can alleviate any physical issues you have going on, any emotional or mental issues that you might be going through. And then it can also facilitate expansion in your consciousness, as well as energetically, as well as connecting you through more into I should say bringing more that enlightenment, if you will, to spiritual illumination or even awakening. So they're very powerful. And again, one chakra can work with many, or one mudra can work with many chakras. One can work with all of the chakras. It just depends on the mudra that comes forward. So these have been being used for thousands and thousands of years by ancient Tibetan monks, as well as many other different cultures, many different practices. They're very widely used in energy healing as well today. So very powerful. So powerful that they do sometimes come with a caution, because if you do suffer from a physical ailment, if we receive a mudra that connects to the chakra where you are let's say, for example, I'm going to say digestive. Okay, so let's say you suffer from some sort of like digestive issue or gastrointestinal. If we get a solar plexus mudra, we're going to be working with your stomach area. That solar plexus chakra rules over your physical stomach area. So what's going to happen is we're channeling energy in. It could possibly create a little bit of irritation as it overstimulates it. Does that mean it's bad? Not necessarily, but it just might not be fun and it might not be comfortable. So therefore, you are asked to err on the side of caution before using it. When the mudra comes up, it will let me know if there is a caution, and I will say that in advance before asking you to work with that. And you decide on your own if you want to do that, okay? All right. So I'm working with a deck, and this is really great for anybody who wants to work with mudras and, practice using them regularly. There are 2 decks by Alison D. Nicola, and this one is Mudras for Awakening the Energy Body, okay? All right. Hi, Kay. Hi, Bobby. And Sampathana. I don't know if I said your name right. I apologize if I did not, but welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call forward a mudra that we most need for our highest and greatest good this week that really does assist us with the oracle message that came forward. Then I'm going to guide you in working with that mudra together here. Afterwards, I will post a picture of the mudra on my page, and I encourage you to save it to your phone or your device, and therefore you can work with this mudra all week long. Working with it once a day is going to bring incredible benefits to you in overall well-being, but also facilitating the growth that needs to occur. Okay? All right. So let's see what mudra comes forward to assist the collective good for the week of October 12th, 2020. We got a mudra and a chakra. Surprise, surprise. Where all of my people who have been experiencing some sacral stuff this week? We did receive the sacral chakra, also known as the Swadhisthana. It is the 2nd chakra, which for women, it would be your womb area, and men, it would be your pelvis area. Men and women, we all have a sacral chakra. The meaning of this chakra, so obviously it's ruled by that color orange. So working with the color orange, working with any orange crystals, orange colors, wearing orange, it's all going to connect into that chakra and assist us as we are birthing, right? What are we birthing, though? I just want to give you this little bit of, I need to do this. So I'm going to tell you the mudra represents higher knowledge, and it is the Jnana mudra. So we're birthing higher knowledge, new earth, higher wisdom, consciousness, new paradigm. Just magic. You cannot make this stuff up, all right? So anyway, this sacral chakra, just for those of you who would like to know, its location is below the navel, like I said, just in that whole pelvis womb area. Its meaning is inner dwelling place. This is also the place of our inner child. So anybody who might be dealing with some emotional or mental things coming up due to inner child wounds or childhood wounds, this is the chakra that you would also be connecting with. Also the place of suppressed Meredith, you just had an emotional thing happen. It's also the place of where we store our repressed emotions. Okay. The sound that you can chant to connect into your sacral is VAM, V-A-M, okay? The color obviously is orange. The symbol is the 6-petal lotus flower. It rules our reproductive organs, ovaries, and testes. Its element is water, so there's those emotions again, and your intuition, by the way. And so everybody wanting to work with their intuition, you can also connect into more of your sacral, as well as that third eye crown chakra, higher knowledge. The qualities are fluidity, receptivity, creativity, and pleasure. Okay. Hello, beautiful Leanne. How are you, love? We're just on the mudra, and everything else, you know, you can catch it back on replay, but thank you for being here with us. Oh, not a problem. Oh, yeah. I just saw Beth, you said on point mudra chakra getting real. Yeah. All right. So the Jnana mudra, we are going to do this one together. It assists with meditation. There is no caution with this one, so everybody is free to work with it. It assists with meditation, concentration, and wisdom. It benefits balancing the left and right sides of the brain. Wow. Yep. What did we talk about already? I definitely mentioned that. It improves concentration, opens and balances the third eye chakra, and assists meditation. So we're going to do this one together. All right. So how you do is you just touch the tip of your index finger to the tip of the thumb, forming a circle. All other fingers extend outward. It's so hard to show. You guys can see. Very simple. Okay? You're going to do this with both hands, and you're going to rest the back of the palms on the top of your thighs, palms facing up. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this together now. So I want everybody to just close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose while holding that mudra position. And release. Again, nice deep breath in through your nose. And release. Blowing the breath out of your mouth. Connecting into your palms there. Once again, nice deep breath in. And release. And you can state, I awaken to the divine wisdom of the universe. I awaken to the divine wisdom of the universe. I awaken to the divine wisdom of the universe. And so it is. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Although there's nothing simple about that mudra whatsoever. It's quite powerful. Bringing in that higher wisdom, and as we were actually taking our breaths in and breathing out, I kept having flashes of a lotus flower in my third eye. So the lotus is the symbol of enlightenment. So quite powerful. I do encourage you to work with that mudra all week long, even connecting into the sacral chakra all week long. It is only going to assist you. And that's it. You just literally do it. 3 deep breaths in and out. If you want to continue doing more breath work with that, you absolutely can. That's always recommended to do in frequencies, patterns of 3s. So, 3 breaths, 6 breaths, 9 breaths, and so on and so forth. So I will take a picture and put it on my page, and please feel free to save it and work with it all week. With that said, I thank all of you so very much for being here with me this week and for hanging out for this very lengthy moon day. I hope that you all enjoyed the information that came through, as well as enjoy it as the week continues to evolve. So much love, blessings to you. And do not forget, for those local, Oracles and myself will be at Black and Blue in Easton, Pennsylvania, 7 p.m. Friday, October 16th, doing in-person readings with our magical Wheel of Fate. Okay, take care, everybody.